What's up, guys? I just want to thank everybody that stopped by the stream yesterday. You know, we had a great time going over a lot of 2.0 changes, and it's definitely going to revolutionize the game, and it's really a whole new experience in general. So if you go to the forums and then the strategy section, you will see the most amazing thread ever. Naruto Online won 2016 Facebook Game of the Year. No, what we're looking at is the 2.0 changes. So they have a bunch of threads, thanks to Mr. Doe. He basically posted all of them. And it's pretty much describing all the changes that happened for all the ninjas, as well as the main character talents in 2.0. So I'm basically going to be going over this since a lot of people were asking what ninjas will get changed. So we're going to see how it affects everything. Now, here are the first, at level, in the new 2.0. Starting from level 65 and ending at level 85, you will start to unlock 4th main character talents, which are going to be pretty good, and just add some more variety, and you can also have some different combinations now the way it works out. Personally, I've only been using lightning main, so I don't know what else. I don't know much about the other talents, and I haven't swapped mains, so I can't tell you how the experience is over there. But from the lightning main perspective, I'm really enjoying Calm Mind, and everything else about it. I haven't tried Arena Prowess just because it's really weird. Every time one of your team's units is defeated, units ninjutsu and attack will be increased by 20%. If it works with clones, that will be very strong, so you could definitely mess with that. The 4th mystery also causes a tag and paralyze, and they also changed this so if you have a minimum of 50 chakra, the unit does not use. If you have a minimum of 50 chakra points, this unit's skill will not consume chakra and will not suffer from cooling time. So what you will be noticing is that these are the official translations from ASUS games and how the skills are in the game. I did have the document for Naruto Online that pretty much, it was rough translations of everything from China to us, and you will notice that all the stuff on there is very different from what we are getting, or it was pretty close, like it gave you a general idea of it. Looking at the water main, so her mystery is good because it cancels a shield and buff on the selected unit. She also gets a 10-hit combo chase, and then her standard attack is very interesting. It hits units in the front row, and it causes damage to herself as well as the opponent based on the unit's maximum life points. So you can start stacking HP on water mains, and you will start doing a lot of damage from that. Then you also have a very interesting reverse seal passive. So every time they take damage, this unit recovers 2% life points and attack will be increased. And then they also have a curse mark buff, which I believe later on, maybe in the, I don't know when the next big update is going to be. We could call it, I guess, 3.0. They do get Sage mode instead of this, I guess. So I'm not really sure, because in China there was Sage mode for the water mains. So that's what I'm guessing is going to basically happen later on. The fire main definitely took a hit. And, the 4 talents kind of separated the fire main for what it used to be. So now the mystery gives shield based on 20% resistance. And it will also cancel all debuffs on the selected unit. And the selected unit will become immune to all debuffs for 1 round. So it's interesting, they give more of a supportive role. The 4th standard is pretty cool. It attacks 4 opponents and has a chance of causing ignition. And then the coolest thing I would say as far as the fire main goes is the ninjutsu urge. So for having the main character on the field, all your ninjas get 15% ninjutsu. And when the units use a ninjutsu attribute tank, they heal themselves by 10%. So that's a very good passive to try and mess around with, especially since they, really did change the Genjutsu mirror. So you'll probably want to run ninjutsu urge as soon as you get it, depending on the team you're running, of course. And then unparalleled, if this mystery skill defeats an opponent's skill, its cooldown is reset to 0, and the damage caused by this unit to clones, puppets, and summons will be increased by 50%. So it's kind of also a way, I guess, to bring Dragon Flame back. So it's really weird. Like, they split up Scarlet Blaze, but we'll go into that later. The Breeze Dancer. First of all, this mystery, the 4th mystery, do not sleep on it. I was facing it in Arena, and I had no idea what happened because I forgot. I was like, oh, what mystery was this that the Windmain was using? She used it against my lightning lineup, and since it clears all debuffs, buffs, and shields, I think it cleared their own debuffs, and it cleared my buffs and my shields. So what happened was I lost Root of the Warrior. It actually cleared Root of the Warrior. And you know, it made a very personally. I think Breeze Dancer got a huge boost from a lot of the things that have been happening, and I think Scarlet Blaze and Earthmane took a bit of a hit. But you know, the next best thing about the Wind Main is every time this unit triggers a chase skill, your team will receive 15 chakra points. And then there's the chakra coordination. When your team recovers chakra, the unit who recovers chakra will give 7% of this unit's life back. So there's a lot more interesting things. And then, you know, Crimson Fist. So they have a mystery. Chakra Wall gives a shield based on 50% of this unit's resistance on the selected unit, and also gives them 40 chakra. Now you could use this on anyone, even on other people's teams when it comes to Great Ninja War and stuff like that. So it's a very good mystery to support. And then they also have Wood Style Universe. When the unit has a shield, its standard attack will be substituted by the following causes. It basically does water and earth attributes. So they kind of give them, you know, like Wood Style. That's basically what the 4 talents are for a little bit of it. And then defense knowledge. When this unit is on the field, your team units will have the resistance increased by 60% and defense by 20%. So it's very interesting. Now we're going to changes in the talents of the 5 main characters. Now this is where they say what they changed from the previous stuff. And the good thing is they have a before and what it is now. So it really simplifies things. They changed lightning armor. The notice to change about lightning armor was before it used to make you immune to all debuffs during the round, but now it cancels all debuffs. So what that means is it's going to clear all the debuffs you have, and then it will give you 3 extra standard attacks this round. And they now specify how much critical hit rate is being increased, which is 15% compared to before. So what the descriptions did this time around is it basically fixed the wording and made it more appropriate and actually give you the statistics behind it. So high combos were considered 10 combos, and I guess low combos were considered 4 combos. Give or take, that's what happened. Chidori Sharp Spear just got better grammar. Now, Anbu Special Tactics, it got, alright, so it changed to, pretty much the wording changed. It still does the same thing. Now, it basically gives you 25% attack, and then when they use Taijutsu damage, they heal themselves by 25% of the damage. So that just got reworded. But Root of the Warrior, I don't know how it was, at least for the English side, it was giving immunity to, what is it? Immunity to 3 sword-bearing ninjas, and increase their attack by 20%. But now it gives them immunity again, and their resistance is increased by 100%, which 100% resistance is pretty crazy. I mean, it makes them have very high damage reduction towards ninjutsu, which is going to be pretty crazy. So only standard attacks will pretty much have full effect on sword-type ninjas. And, you know, I've been really liking the Lightning Main because of that. I'm using a sword lineup, which is just very strong. Mifune, Hidon, Danzo, and it's just really working out well. So the biggest changes for the Lightning Main was the Lightning Armor and Root of the Warrior, which I think Root of the Warrior got a bit better. Personally, the 20% attack wasn't too much, and in the PvP standpoint, you know, 100% resistance is a lot. So now we go into the Water Main, and there is something crazy about the Water Main that happened. So the Taijutsu attack got reworked, but now it's, you know, it tells you that it causes the combo and it guarantees the critical. Pretty much the same as it did before. It just looks nicer on paper. Then the Shark Bomb, it just, you know, got reworked as well. It says it has a high chance of critical rate. Regenerative Healing Jutsu, I think, you know, they just pretty much specified how much it heals now. So these are basically, these two are the mysteries. This is the standard. Now this is where it is, alright, Neurotoxin. Huge change. Before it used to cause immobile when it crit on an enemy lineup. This time it doesn't do immobile, but it does chaos. Like chaos instead of immobilize. Which I experienced this firsthand in China, where I got shark bombed as like a level 20 something, and my whole team got chaos, and I had no idea what happened. So I would say definitely chaos is better than immobilize. It pretty much has the same exact effect, but chaos is better since you can attack your own team. So Neurotoxin is way better now, especially combo that with the shark bomb, and you better hope to God you have like 100% crit chance. Then Soul Absorption got changed. They nerfed the chakra points, but now it can, and then it also triggers up to 6 times each round. So soul absorption did get nerfed. And then looking at the Scarlet Blaze, which, you know, it really hurts. Alright, I started the game as a Scarlet Blaze way back then. It was definitely the main character class I was stuck with and I loved. I did everything as a fire main, you know. It really hurts because they really shit on it. That's just exactly how you say. So Dragon Flame got changed. Before you used to be able to use it twice in a row and then it went off cooldown for 4 rounds. Now it's a 20 chakra cost instead of 40. I think you can use it round 1 as well. And it goes off cooldown after the first time you use it. And it also says that you don't, like, it doesn't say that you do more damage to clones, puppets, or summons anymore. So, I don't know, man. Like, they really just took out Dragon Flame. They basically split Dragon Flame in half. And that is what I was telling you guys. They pretty much took the parts of Dragon Flame and made it into 2 fourth main character talents. So, in order to use Dragon Flame again, you pretty much have to run those talents as well, which is, you know, it's like, it really hurts the fire main because of that. Then they also went ahead and, attacks all the front enemies and has a chance of repulse. Now it says attack units in the first row with a high chance to cause 10 combo. This skill cannot be evaded. So, it seems like the fire style flame jutsu got changed. Phoenix Fire Chase just got reworded. Red Lotus Secret, it finally, you know, got a proper translation. Because before it didn't even say Kekkei Genkai, it was something else. Like, I remember how messed up the translation was. It was not Kekkei Genkai. They're trying to make themselves feel better about it. But at the beginning of battle now, increase the ninjutsu and combo rate of all secret technique attribute ninjas. Which I had no idea it did. I think they just, they changed attack for combo rate instead, so it only buffs ninjutsu by 40% for 3 rounds. And instead of buffing for 5 rounds, it buffs for 3 rounds now. So, you know, a lot of things are being changed. Genjutsu Mirror, the most broken passive of the Scarlet Blaze before 2.0 is gone. Now, before it used to transfer the first debuff received by your team to their team, and then it would increase the damage that you did to ignited targets. Now, it only basically transfers the first debuff. It doesn't increase your damage from units that are ignited. So, pretty much rest in peace Tobi, because Tobi got nerfed as well. So he doesn't have a knockdown from his mystery, can't start the combo, and then he doesn't have Undying anymore. You know, I would say he's still usable, he still has his damage, but he's gonna definitely be in different teams from now on. And then, you know, Genjutsu Mirror, and Dragon Flame Jutsu, and then let's not forget Bani Chakra. Alright, Bani Chakra took an L as well. I mean, before it used to be really good against Earth mains, not only would it disperse a shield and ignite the target before, now they took it out. Like they just completely destroyed it. So it doesn't ignite or disperse the buffs on one target. Now it recovers 20 chakra points and a small quantity of life. So when they even specified small quantity of life, that thing will probably barely heal you like a regular standard attack, maybe less than a standard heal from a water main. And then Death Mirage also got changed. So before it used to cancel up to one debuffs from 2 units of your team at random and give you 10 chakra points for every unit it hit. But now it basically reduces the resistance of all units in the opponent's field, which is actually not that bad. If you have a very heavy ninjutsu setup, especially for like Great Ninja War, if this affects all units, that would be amazing. All enemy units. So, well, you know, Fire Main, I definitely think they took the biggest hit. They changed so much. It really doesn't make me want to play Fire Main. I mean, I'll definitely go to Fire Main sometime to check it out and definitely go through the changes, but it was really sad. I do everything on Fire Main, and, you know, they just really changed it all so much. Then we go to the Wind Main, which they really did rework a lot of things. So Wind Dance. Before, it used to be the ultimate YOLO attack buff. It gave your male ninjas 100% attack, but dropped the resistance by 100%. And then now they changed it so every unit in the same row of your main character has ninjutsu resistance increased by 40%. Lasts for 5 rounds. I definitely think this is kind of better, at least for a Empress setup. Definitely will be a lot better, especially if you have like people that focus on ninjutsu as well as shields. You can pair them up in the back row. So I definitely like the Wind Dance better now than it used to be. Hurricane Jutsu now also does blindness, which isn't bad. It doesn't actually do high flow anymore though. So it pretty much, it lost its combo potential to do blindness. which actually is not that good. Giant Rasengan now is pretty much the same thing, except it has a cooldown of 3 rounds instead of 4 rounds, so it's better now. Wind Style Gale Fan, now it specifies it hits up to 3 of the opponents. So it just got to rework as far as the translation goes. Then they also fixed the translation for the 10-hit combo chase. Now Flower Guard got a change as well. So before it used to give shields based on your own resistance and increase 30% of the ninjutsu of each female ninja in your team. That was basically for the Empress lineups. Now, before each action in a round, it gives a shield up to 3 female ninjas based on 20% of the resistance and cancels 1 stack of debuffs. So at the same time, you're going to have more consistent shields because it's every round, but you do lose out on the 30% ninjutsu for each female ninja. So it really changes how Empress teams are going to work now. You know, it's kind of takes a hit. It focuses more on a survival lineup, but that's just the kind of changes we have to go through. Gust Dance just got, you know, changed, so high combos were 10 combos. Queen Momentum, they basically specified it now. So for each female ninja, it's 25% attack and ninjutsu. And then the Super Sexy Harem Jutsu got reworked as well. Before, it used to give blindness to 1 random enemy and drop the resistance by 30%. And it could have been triggered twice per round. Now, though, it pretty much blinds up to 3 male characters before each round. So if you're facing a lot of teams that have male characters, this is actually pretty good. But, you know, they kind of did like change how Empress lineups will work in the win league. And then, you know, when it comes to Crimson Fist, there was so many changes. So Crimson Fist and Scarlet Blaze took the biggest hit. I would say Lightning Mane stayed the same. It didn't really get nerfed. You know, they did make some tweaks, but it definitely stayed the same. And then Wind is kind of in between, I would suppose. And then Water, you know, Water got better because of the chaos for the neurotoxin, I believe. So, Crimson Fist. First of all, they took Undying out. Undying, basically, after you died, you recover 50% life. And then, you know, they had Guidance, where, well, now it's Guidance. When this unit is in the field, every male ninja will have their combo rate increased by 40%. Don't know how I feel about that personally. I would honestly don't see a case where I would use it. Combo rates basically increases your chance to start a combo. So it's, I don't know what to think about that. Then they basically redid the translation for the Super Stone Fist Jutsu. Konoha Hurricane as well. Earth Style Petrifying Jutsu. Same thing, they're just basically fixing translation at this point. Alright, so here is something different. Bottom Force. Every time damage is taken, the unit will have its attack and defense increased by 7% and 4%. It's pretty good for the Earthmate. They focus on taijutsus and defense is their strong point as well. So it's not like the super armor that they had before. So it's definitely different. And then Pose of Duel got also changed. And honestly, it was way better last time because now it has the Ostima Windblade effect. So all of the units that have full HP get the 30% attack and ninjutsu buff. Before, it was as long as they had 50% or more HP, they had the buff. So it definitely, you know, it's got for worse when it came to it. But if you're running a lot of shields and can stay full HP, you should be fine. Steel Body, they I don't know, like, they put the wrong translation. They put a different skill. It's not supposed to be Steel Body here. But they put it as the wrong one. But now the Steel Body basically gives you 100% defense as well as the immune to combos. So that's pretty much the end of the main character talents. And like I said, you know, Scarlet Blaze took the biggest hit than the Earthmane. You know, it's definitely crazy how it is. But, you know, we have to go to the ninjas now. It already took a lot of time for the main character translations. But it's just more of an informational video. So another thing you should notice is they changed how shield ninjas work now. They affect up to 9 targets now instead of 6, and it's 30% resistance instead of 40% resistance. So you have yourself you have weaker shields but across more people. So it fits for the Great Ninja 1 rank battle system. It affected most ninjas that do shields. I think like Iruka is one of the few that didn't get that. But almost everybody else, Conan especially, you'll see later on. So Tamari got that change, and then now they pretty much, alright, so they basically changed the shields for most people, and then they just reworded the text for how the wind style Gale fan goes. That's for Tamari 5 Kage Conference. Gaara and 3-star, all they did was rework the text. No changes besides that. They changed the shield passive text and they fixed the barrier text as well. So there was no other changes. Kaze Kagegara, same thing. They just reworded the barrier. He didn't get changed. Chio, alright. Man, they had to kill her, man. Like, oh, I can't believe this. Alright, so she went from having her chases to, she had 2 chases, alright, and they could trigger up to 5 times. Now they changed it to 3 times. It really kills down the high combo dream. It's never gonna be the same. Like, I didn't try Chio out too many times when I had her, but now it's gonna completely change. I mean, chasing 5 times to 3 times is a huge impact. It really is. And then they also changed themselves. They reworded the mystery. That's the annoying thing. So many things are reworded. So going through these threads is like, okay. But yeah, you know, Chio got definitely a pretty big change from that. Chasing 3 times for each chase now. Then Orochimaru. Orochimaru took an L real quick. Alright, so they reworked, or they reworded. I can't say that word. They reworded the Snake Sword. They also changed Ambition. So everything basically became gaining 10%, 10 chakra and then 6% life. And it triggers 6 times. So anything that was giving you some sort of chakra gain for when units died, it's all around the same point where they all give 10 chakra now. They also just reworded the multiple striking shadow chase. Exchange of life is what they fucking killed for all Orochimarus. So before it was, after Orochimaru died, he resurrected 2 rounds later, right? There wasn't anything too bad personally with that. I didn't think Orochimaru was too good of a ninja it wasn't that hard to deal with. And then now, after Orochimaru has died, he can be revived using a Hidden Sound Ninja. The Hidden Sound Ninja with the least life will be used. So unless you're using Hidden Sound Ninjas, you cannot pretty much revive Orochimaru. So it changes the way you're going to use him. And I'm not sure, like, this is all just descriptive changes on the forums as well. I'm not sure if he got a stat boost or what happened, if any ninjas got stat boost, but this is what they changed to their talents and how they operate. So his reviving potential is pretty much done. You rarely see people use Hidden Sound Ninjas. And even in a ranked battle setup, nobody uses Hidden Sound Ninjas, except for maybe Sakon. So that really changed his potential. Same for the regular Orochimaru, you know, the Ambition, the Chase, and then the same thing for Konoha Trader, the one that revives the first and second Hokage. He got himself the same thing as the Sannin Warrior Orochimaru. So he doesn't revive unless you use Hidden Sound Ninjas, and he kills them off anyway. Kidomaru, they reworded his metal armor. They reworded Jirobo as well, and they basically reworded Jugo, and they also they pretty much reworded everything for the Hidden Sound Ninjas except for Orochimaru. He actually got changes. That's all you need to know for the Hidden Sound Ninjas. Then we go to the Hidden Cloud, alright? Like I said, all barrier ninjas, or all shield ninjas, sorry, they now affect 9 targets but have weaker shields than before, and they only affected 6 in the past. So it really focuses on, you know, a more of a, I guess, an AoE playstyle. So Mabui got that change. C, honestly, he just got reworded. No differences. Now they pretty much have to put shields and buffs because I guess they put shields separately instead. But shields used to be categorized as buffs as well. I'm not sure if they still are. You know, reworded again for Chakra Inhale and then Taijutsu. Killer B, on top of his mystery getting reworded, his mystery also costs 0 chakra now, so that's a big plus. And they also reworded Tailed Beast chakra as well as Tailed Beast Instructor, which kind of hurts, you know. I was really looking forward to getting Killer B because he was the Iruka for Jinchurikis. But now, they dropped his shield from 50% to 40% because he hits 9 Jinchurikis on the field from now on. It's going to be really good when you get ranked battle, or when we get Jinchuriki treasures and then you see a lot of Jinchurikis in Great Ninja War and ranked battle and stuff like that. But, you know, it's just, the shields at 50% were so strong. And you're not really going to utilize 9 Jinchurikis now. I mean, you're only going to have a Killer B and a Naruto. So you're really not going to reach the 9 Jinchurikis at this point in the game. And then Raikage, you know, they pretty much reworded his Lightning Protector. which was basically, it's still the old way of lightning armor. It's basically the lightning armor before 2.0. Ao as well got the shield changed, so he targets 9 with a 10% weaker shield. Akatsuchi as well, and they reworded Earthstop Petrifying Jutsu. Kurotsuchi, they also just, they just also reworded it, made it more professional, and they reworded her chase as well. Haku's barrier got reworded for the better, and Mifune, who also got himself a, what is it? Let's see. So it's the same thing. They reworded it basically. Yeah, it was the same thing as before. He still disperses debuffs on one target, but now they specify shields and buffs because people might think it's separate. Then we go in to the top people, alright? The Konohas, alright? So, Hashirama, thank God they didn't ruin him or anything. They just reworded his barrier. Minato, they also reworded his barrier. Actually, they might have changed it a little bit. He does wind attribute damage now instead of ninjutsu and taijutsu, but he probably still has ninjutsu and taijutsu. Yeah, I think it's still the same thing, but they reworded it. Jiraiya, now they tell you how much resistance they drop, and it also says it does a small amount of damage. Tsunade recovers her own life points, so they pretty much went more descriptive on that. Iruka, alright, they changed it. Before he used to have the buff for I guess the entire time because it didn't specify. It was just a permanent buff for shield resistance. Yeah, 50% resistance. No, okay, let me backtrack. 50% shields, and then you also had a 30% ninjutsu and attack boost on top of that. Now, he still has the 50% shields and still the same buff, but it only lasts for 3 rounds. So Iruka definitely doesn't have the same impact as he used to, but you know, it's still a very strong buff for the start. It's just, you know, kind of a shame. It's really a shame. I guess it was 5 rounds at most back then because, you know, doing a 10-round buff would have been crazy. So from 5 rounds at least to 3 rounds is a pretty significant change. Kakashi got reworded as well. He got reworded. And he used to cause ignition. I actually did not know that. So, yeah, it's just all reworded stuff for him. Guy as well, they... You know, the thing I didn't understand was they kind of did this wrong, like the hot-blooded guidance. So, this is Youth was basically buffing the taijutsu attack for all units in your lineup. It lasts for 3 rounds now as well. And then this thing was basically the leech for your entire team. But the thing is, the leech now is different. It says, when Guy is in the battlefield, Guy will heal himself by 15% in proportion to the taijutsu damage caused by your field. So, if he's only healing himself instead of the whole team healing themselves, it feels like it's going to be way different from before. Asuma Windblade, or regular Asuma, he got himself reworded, and the Chakra Blade actually got changed as well. So it actually got changed from 40 chakra points to 20, and for having at least 20 chakra points, for each chakra point over 20, you get 1% ninjutsu and combo rate. So that could stack up. That could go actually pretty far for however much you go up to 100 chakra. Asuma Windblade got rewarded as well. Kurenai recovers a great amount of life to selected unit. So that got a reward as well. Yamato, it actually tells you it increases 100% damage to tailed beasts and summons. So huge monsters basically. And the barrier got rewarded as well. And Onko's barrier got rewarded as well. So you will see a lot of stuff have been fixed as far as translations and rewordings. But this is where it gets interesting. You will see here Naruto 6 Tails, Naruto 9 Tails Chakra Mode. This is the 4-star version. This is the King QB right here. You know, 5-star is better. But 5-star doesn't change. This 4-star becomes, it says 6 Tails, which... The Rage passive got changed. Before it used to be for every 1% life they lost, their ninjutsu and attack went up by 0.8%, which was actually pretty insane. And now they changed that so your entire team has 15% critical hits for 5 rounds, which I would personally kind of prefer Rage at least. But, you know, the critical hits for the entire team isn't that bad either. I'm not sure how much Great Ninja War 1010 gives crit either, so 15% could be a lot, or it could be the same as Great Ninja War 1010. And then the taijutsu attack, so they changed it. It does a sweep, which that's what the 4 Tails does. It sweeps like 3 units and causes ignition to them. And then it has a fixed chance of causing low float, so it does cause low float. And then you also have, you know, the rewording for Tail Beast Chakra Wars. This Naruto 6 Tails is going to be insane when he comes out. I'm definitely going to get him. I have the 3-star version. I can't wait for the 4-star. It's going to be a really expensive ninja. I mean, like, I'm talking like maybe over $600 type thing. It's going to be a really expensive ninja. But he is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Konohamaru got reworded. Sailor Sakura, or regular Sakura. Alright, this is the thing I can't understand. Regular Sakura heals 30% of life for the units in your lineup. So that's how much she heals by, right? Sailor Sakura heals 25% of the lineup. Why does Sailor Sakura heal less than a 2-star Sakura? I just cannot understand that. Then they reworded Kirin, the barrier, for Sasuke 3-star. And they also reworded the Chidori Sharp Spear Chase. Playboy Sasuke. I actually think he got buffed. I swear to God. His shields felt very weak for Playboy. So I kind of think his shields, I don't know, they might have been 50%, but they didn't seem that good. Now the shields are 40%, but target up to 9 female units. And also give 30% attack boost and ninjutsu. Personally, this is going to be very good for ranked battle. If people use Playboy Sasuke, because the people did in the past. And then they reworded the Inferno style chase. And the same for Sasuke Susanoo. And you have Choji, who got himself reworded as well. Reworded as well. Shikamaru rewarded. Lee. Actually, no, Rock Lee. He lost his leech. But now when he does die, he comes back to life with 10% of his life. And the skill can only be lost once in battle. So I don't know what I think about that. And then the 8 inner gates, it now lets you launch 1 extra standard attack. And your critical hit is now increased by 15%. So they just basically tell you how much the critical hit is going up by. So yeah, the biggest change is definitely the fighting spirit, where he revives himself now, doesn't have a leech. Great Ninja War Neji, he has himself with a reword as well. Nothing special, same thing. Great regular Tenten. Triggered up, okay, so it's just a reword. So it's 50% critical hit anyway, so all critical hit buffs now give 15%, which is pretty high if you think about it. You know, critical hit can get pretty nasty. Great Ninja War Tenten also 15%. And everything stays the same. Actually, no. High combo would be considered a 10. And they made it a 5 combo instead, so I'm not sure what I think about that. So maybe it got a slight nerf because it's not a high combo anymore, it's a 5. And Danzo. So Danzo just got reworded, I think. Or actually, you know, okay, no. It got a slight buff. Now, it's the same exact thing, except now it cannot be cancelled when you Izanagi somebody. And I think what it means is when you have the Izanagi. So you can still interrupt Danzo's Izanagi, but when it's basically applied on a target, you can't purge it or cleanse it, or you can't get rid of that buff. So that's what they mean by it. So it got a slight buff, and then they changed Ambition. They buffed it actually. He used to give 6% life back for every time a unit died. Now it's 10% life and 10 chakra. So that's pretty good. And then we have ourselves Fu. You know, he got affected with all the other shield ninjas, so he affects 9 targets and gives 30% shields. Then we have ourselves the Akatsuki's, which my man Hidan is on the list. So Itachi got his barrier reworded. And he also got his Crow Clone Jutsu reworded. His Itachi Susanoo also got his stuff reworded. Kisame also got reworded, and he had to basically put a more descriptive text for his Shark Skin expansion, which is very good if you can maintain high chakra points. Datara got reworded as well. Oh no, it actually does a 6 combo now and ignition. It doesn't do a triple combo anymore, and it's guaranteed. Oh no, a certain chance, yeah. So it's a certain chance to do a 6 combo. So you got a slight buff. And Datara finally tells you he gets 4% ninjutsu for every time he receives ninjutsu damage. But it used to be when he caused ninjutsu damage. So, yeah, I don't know what I think about that. Alright, so regular Hidan, they reworded his, actually no. They changed his chase. It doesn't do high float. No, it's still, never mind. It's still the same thing. They just reworded it. And then now they say if the unit is defeated, they specify how much HP comes back. But this is where it's at, alright? My Death Possession Blood Hidan, the Cursed Hidan. he got insanely amazing. So his mystery now does damage up to 6 ninja. No, this is his standard attack, sorry. His standard attack hits up to 6 tagged units, including himself, and then he gives priority to units with the highest life and attack attribute, which I had no idea about. But this is freaking the best thing about Crest Hidan now, especially if you have somebody to give him double attacks. His resurrection is now also after 2 rounds, but it says that he comes back with 40% life. And then he has this, which is his mystery. His mystery is so much better. It does an 8 combo hit and tags 3 units, compared to before just tagging up 3 units. The 8 combo does a lot of damage. So Hidan becomes a freaking beast. I'm loving Hidan. I can say he is my favorite ninja to use right now. Kakazu, he replaces standard attack upon dying. It's the same thing, just reworded. This is also reworded, 7 combo. So I guess a high combo goes anywhere from 5 to 10. So I guess that's what a high combo is classified as. So Great Ninja War 10 stay the same, sorry about that. And then this one also got reworded for his mystery. Yeah, so, and removes shields and all temporary buffs. So temporary and disperses all buffs. It's the same thing, really. Conan affects up to 9 Akatsuki units now, but with a 40% shield instead of 50. So I guess her and Playboy did have 50% shields if they got nerfed like that. But Conan is still going to be very good. You know, even better considering Great Ninja War setups. A lot of Akatsuki members are used. Now, Tendo took a big change. He lost his prompt, and his chakra is not a 60 cost anymore. It's an 80 cost with no prompt, but you can do it round 1. And if you saw it on the stream last night, you will see how amazing that is. This freaking Tendo was the reason why we were doing Team Instance with the Uchiha brothers in the first place. So this is going to be amazing for Great Ninja War lineups. And, you know, and now also a new thing, they added to the text that upon using his mystery, the barrier disappears. So I would say it's definitely at least a buff, in my opinion. It's definitely a buff. I mean, he drops barriers now. Although it could drop your own barrier, so it's a downside. But the round 1 Tendo is nasty. It really is. You know, but it's definitely going to change the way you use Tendo teams from now on. You kind of need to go for a round 1 Tendo or something. I honestly, you know, he wouldn't have the same kind of role as a carry in your lineup. Shirado, okay, now they also specified all the Renegon boosts. So that's what they did. They made it so he increases attack by 40% and lasts for 3 rounds, where I think all the buffs, if they weren't specified, lasted for 5 rounds now. Same for Jigokudo, gives defense by 60%. I actually did not know that. They also reworded his heal. No, it cancels all the debuffs on these 2 units instead of just 1 debuff. That is pretty crazy. So he got a buff. He used to only cancel 1 debuff on the target. Now he cancels all the debuffs on these 2 targets. So that's a lot better for Jigokudo. Soul Absorption got changed, so 10 chakra and 10% life. Chiko Shudo, the animal path. Now she gives a 40% ninjutsu boost for Renegons. Ningendo gives a 60% combo rate boost for 5 rounds. And Gakido gives a Taijutsu attack boost. No, he gives a... Oh, wait, he went from giving Taijutsu attack to now giving resistance by 60% for 3 rounds. So they got rid of the Taijutsu attack boost. And he has a shield, which the shield is based on 80% of the unit's resistance attribute and cancels all its debuffs and makes the unit immune to debuffs for 1 round. That is pretty sick. 80% resistance shield, I did not know it was that high. Then, unfortunately, Tobi, alright, rest in peace. I mean, his mystery doesn't cause a knockdown. Oh no, this is a chase. Okay, this is a chase. Now the chase specifies that it ignores the defense, so that's why it does relatively high damage, even though it doesn't say it ignores defense. This was his... Okay, he still evades the mystery. It triggers 1 each round. That's just reworded. Iron Fist attack, which was his mystery. They got rid of the knockdown. He doesn't do a knockdown anymore, so he doesn't start a combo. But he still has the same damage. And then the biggest change where everybody was unhappy for was the unyielding. Alright, when he dies, there's a chance of resurrection and returning to battle. He will no longer revive. Instead, the skill is now called Behind the Scenes, and before each round he gives 20 chakra points. So it changes the way you will use Tobi in teams. This is going to hurt a lot of free players. And honestly, I can't think of any good free-to-play team now that just could replace any Tobi team. So like I said, it's gonna be a week of theory crafting to pretty much get teams set up and stuff like that. You guys should just mess around with the combo simulator and try it out. But you know, these are all the changes in 2.0. You know, it's a long video. I try to go over everything and just give you guys information. I also built the links to the forum so you guys can check it out for yourself. And just once again, thank you to Mr. Doe for posting all of these changes, because it really did help out. So the biggest changes, alright, Scarlet, Blaze, and Earthmane got huge changes. And Tendo got a pretty big change as far as ninjas go. Tobi got a huge change. Hedon got a huge change. So, it honestly is pretty good. For all Hedon users, at least the cursed Hedon users, he got the biggest buff because he is a monster now. So tomorrow, guys, we're going to go back to the regular video, show you guys some more teams and mess around with things. Hopefully you found this informational and it helps you guys out. Like I said, the links will be in the description and the comments so you guys can go check it out for yourself. It was a lot of stuff to go over. And like I said, they did reword a lot of skills. So it was just a lot of stuff to go through. But I'll see you guys tomorrow with a regular upload. And the stream will be also on Sunday, so be sure to look forward to that.